What can we do working together? Not only this administration, the majority, the minority in the Congress, but also with the Mexican government. What can we do working together to help them win this war, which I believe, Merida is not being implemented as it should, and it's not working, and we're losing. They're losing, and we're losing also. So with that, do you agree that we ought to be looking at what happened, our experience in Colombia, and are there things we can be doing in Mexico, applying those principles, and how can we work together on this?
Congressman, I couldn't agree with you more that this is of the highest priority for the United States in terms of our fundamental interests, to be able to work effectively with Mexico to be able to overcome this challenge. And I also would agree with you that to draw on lessons that have been learned elsewhere is a very valuable way to go. And in fact, there is much more conversation now. One of the aspects of this regional strategy with regard not only to Mexico but also to Central America and the Caribbean is to get other partners involved. And the Colombians have really stepped up to the plate in this regard. They're training policemen, as you know, in Mexico. They're also helping train policemen in Central America right now. But taking this a step further, some of the strategies that were used, in fact, to go push back on the criminal organizations that the Colombians used is something that the Mexicans might look into. We're fairly confident that the essential pillars that we've been following are the correct ones, that we need to bring down the drug trafficking organizations, the criminal cartels, and that sort of thing, that you also cannot do this without paying attention to building stronger institutions, including judicial institutions.
And I agree. We have a president in Mexico who wants to work with us. And I don't know what the next election will bring, whether we'll have that same window of opportunity. And time is kind of running out. I think President Calderon's been a great ally, and we've been a good ally to him. But time is running out, and the window's shutting. And it seems to me we need to maybe start thinking, maybe not outside the box, but think about an overall new strategy that we can bring to bear down in an area that's right next door where there's a crisis on our doorstep. So I would hope you would take a look at that. I personally think it's getting to the point where the idea of a joint intelligence, joint military type operation is going to be necessary. Now, I know the sovereignty issues are great, and I understand the obstacles that you have in the State Department to convince them that that's the best thing. But, if you're sending our guys down there, we ought to do it without one hand tied behind our backs. And so if I could indulge the Chair and ask one more question, and this has to do with, it was called to my attention that the Palestinian Authority President Abbas was traveling. He's traveled around the world, but particularly in Latin America, trying to get support for the recognition of a Palestinian state outside of the negotiation peace process. I think that's troubling, obviously, to the Israelis because I think their view is, look, let's come to the table, but let's come without any conditions, without any preconditions. And I think that has some merit to it. Why bring conditions before you even sit down at the table? So I personally, I think I find this activity a little bit, it's counterproductive in my judgment to what Secretary Clinton and the State Department is trying to do with respect to the peace process in the Middle East. And this may even come down to a UN resolution. What is your position on this strategy that President Abbas has been taking? And what would be the position of this administration if a UN resolution was to come down recognizing a Palestinian state outside of the negotiation process?
Congressman, our position has been very clear on this, that this is not a helpful step for countries to recognize the Palestinian state at this particular point. This is something that is being negotiated by the two parties. And in fact, it's far better for them to address these issues, and that this, in fact, could be counterproductive to have countries do this kind of recognition. And we've made that very clear to our counterparts throughout Latin America. As you well pointed out, there are some countries that have recognized a Palestinian state. Some of them have actually indicated that they recognize it with the 67 borders. We've made it very clear to all of our counterparts that we don't think this is a good idea.
Well, I think that's the right course of action, and thank you for your answer.